Cervical cancer. The very words can send chills down your spine. It's a stark reality that affects hundreds of thousands of women worldwide. Imagine this, nearly 600,000 women were diagnosed with cervical cancer last year. Even more alarming, over 340,000 lost their lives to this silent intruder. These numbers paint a grim picture, but they also underscore an urgent truth. We need to talk about cervical cancer. We need to understand it, recognize it, and most importantly, fight back against it. What makes this disease so dangerous is its stealthy nature. In its early stages, cervical cancer often hides in plain sight. With symptoms so subtle they're easily dismissed or mistaken for something else. This silent progression is what makes this disease a particularly formidable foe. But knowledge, as they say, is power. By understanding how cervical cancer takes root and spreads, we can empower ourselves to be proactive about our health. This essay will explore the intricacies of cervical cancer, from its causative factors to its progression and the crucial role of early detection. We'll delve into the emotional and physical toll it takes and, most importantly, highlight the measures we can all take to protect ourselves and our loved ones. This isn't just about medical facts, it's about taking charge of our health narratives and rewriting the story of cervical cancer. To truly grasp the nature of cervical cancer, we must first understand its primary accomplice, the human papillomavirus, or HPV. This common virus, often contracted through sexual contact, is so prevalent that most sexually active individuals will encounter it at some point in their lives. In most cases, our immune system effectively combats HPV, and the virus clears up on its own, leaving no lasting impact. However, certain high-risk strains of HPV can linger, embedding themselves within the cells of the cervix. Imagine these stealthy invaders infiltrating the very foundation of a woman's reproductive system. Over time, these high-risk HPV strains can disrupt the normal life cycle of cervical cells, causing them to multiply uncontrollably. This uncontrolled growth can lead to precancerous changes in the cervix, a critical turning point in the journey from infection to cancer. Cervical cancer doesn't appear overnight. It progresses through a series of stages, often over several years. Understanding these stages is crucial as it highlights the importance of regular screenings and early detection. The earliest stage, precancer, is characterized by abnormal cell changes in the cervix. These changes, while not yet cancerous, can progress to cancer if left untreated. As the disease advances, it progresses through stages often designated as stages 0 to 4. Each stage reflects the extent to which the cancer has spread from its origin in the cervix. In its early stages, cervical cancer may not present any noticeable symptoms. This silent progression is one of the most insidious aspects of the disease, as it can lull individuals into a false sense of security. However, as the cancer advances, it begins to encroach upon surrounding tissues and organs, leading to a range of symptoms. Section 4. Whispers of warning, recognizing the subtle signs. While early-stage cervical cancer often remains hidden, our bodies often send subtle signals, whispers of warning that something isn't quite right. Recognizing these subtle cues can be life-saving, prompting us to seek medical attention and potentially catch the disease in its earlier, more treatable stages. One of the most common symptoms is abnormal vaginal bleeding. This could manifest as bleeding between periods, after intercourse, or even after menopause. Another red flag is unusual vaginal discharge. While vaginal discharge is normal, changes in its color, consistency, or odor could indicate an underlying problem. Pelvic pain, particularly pain during intercourse, should never be ignored. This type of pain, while potentially attributable to other causes, could also be a sign of cervical cancer. It's important to remember that experiencing any of these symptoms doesn't necessarily mean you have cervical cancer. However, it's crucial to consult your doctor to rule out any serious conditions. Section 5. The shadow of late diagnosis, a heavy toll. When cervical cancer progresses undetected and untreated, it casts a long shadow, impacting not only physical health but also emotional well-being. As the disease advances, it can spread beyond the cervix, invading nearby organs and tissues. This spread, known as metastasis, can affect the bladder, rectum, vagina, and even distant organs like the lungs and liver. The physical toll of late-stage cervical cancer can be immense, leading to pain, discomfort, and a range of debilitating symptoms. Treatment for advanced cervical cancer is often aggressive, involving surgery, radiation, and chemotherapy. These treatments, while potentially life-saving, can also take a heavy toll on the body, leading to side effects like fatigue, nausea, and hair loss. Section 6. Turning the tide: prevention and early detection as our weapons. In the face of a formidable foe like cervical cancer, it's easy to feel powerless. But the truth is, we hold powerful weapons in our arsenal: prevention and early detection. The HPV vaccine stands as a beacon of hope. offering a proactive way to protect against the strains of HPV most commonly associated with cervical cancer. Vaccination is most effective when administered before individuals become sexually active, making it crucial to reach adolescents and young adults. Regular cervical cancer screenings are equally vital in the fight against this disease. These screenings, which include Pap tests and HPV tests, are designed to detect precancerous changes in the cervix, allowing for early intervention and treatment. Early detection is key. When detected early, cervical cancer is highly treatable, and the chances of successful treatment are significantly higher. Section 7. Join the fight, empower yourself and others. The fight against cervical cancer is a collective effort. It requires awareness, action, and a commitment to protecting ourselves and our loved ones. Talk to your doctor about the HPV vaccine and cervical cancer screenings. Knowledge is power, and understanding your risk factors and taking preventative measures is empowering. Share this information with your friends, family, and communities. Spread awareness about cervical cancer, its causes, symptoms, and the life-saving impact of prevention and early detection. By breaking the silence surrounding cervical cancer, we can empower individuals to take charge of their health and rewrite the narrative of this disease. Let's join hands, raise our voices, and work together to create a future where cervical cancer is no longer a silent intruder, but a preventable and treatable condition.